Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are going to learn in the second segment of teaching from home. In the previous period, we have learned in the Unit 4 developing listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills. So, in the first segment, we have learned how to develop listening and speaking skill. Now, today we are going to learn the third skill, and that is the reading skill. So first, I would like to say that it is necessary for all of us to know what is the meaning of reading. Reading means it is nothing but a process. It is a process, and in this process we have to look at a series of written symbols. It is a process to look a series of written symbol and getting meaning from them So this is the definition of reading. So it is a process. Reading is the process to look a series of written symbols. So in writing, we know that there are different symbols like the alphabet A, B, C, D. So these are the syllables, and from these syllables the different types of symbols are made. For example, apple, bat, cat, etc. So in reading, it is a process to look at a series of written symbols. So these are the written symbols and getting meaning from them. So from this different alphabets the word is made, and when we read it, so we are getting the meaning of that word. For example, apple means it is a fruit to eat. Bat, it is the bat, it is the type to play a cricket. So bat, it is used there. So bat, it is the thing or object. Then cat, it is the animal. So in this way, in reading, so these are the written symbols, and from that we have to get the meaning. So this is the simple definition of reading skill. So we have to keep in mind how to keep this definition in mind. So keep in mind this important word, that is the written symbols and getting meaning. If you keep these two words in your mind, so you can make the definition of reading skill. So I think that you got the meaning of this definition. Now next part of this reading skill is this, that this readings has two types. Reading has two types. What are they? First is the loud reading, and the second one or the other one is silent reading. So these are the two types of reading, loud reading and silent reading. So before learning these types of reading, first we know what are the purpose of reading. So let us see what are the purpose or motto or intention of reading. Why should we read? So let us see that the purpose of reading. So the first purpose of reading is this: we read for entertaining entertainment and enjoyment. To read for entertainment and enjoyment. So this is the first purpose of reading. To read for entertainment and enjoyment. There are so many books which we read for entertainment and enjoyment. For example, students, means the kids, they very much like the comics book. To read that comics book, they enjoy it. They get the entertainment also by reading it. So this is the first purpose. Second purpose is, it is a routine. It is a routine. So reading, it is a routine process of our life. It is a routine process of our life. For example, to read newspaper, to read articles, to read magazines. So this is the routine process of our life. Routines means a daily, a habitual thing. So this is the second purpose of reading. Third, to get information and knowledge. So this is the third purpose of reading, to get information and knowledge. So by reading books, by reading newspaper, by reading periodicals, the students are getting a new knowledge and new information from the various sectors, from the different sectors like sports, sector like economy, sectors like politics, sector likes entertainment, likes movies. So these are the different territories and sectors from which the students get information and knowledge, and that information and knowledge, it is useful for the students to develop their general knowledge also. So this is also the purpose of reading. The next purpose of reading is for the students. By reading, the students solve, by reading, students solve their test and examinations. Test and examinations. Already we know that if the students read their texts or textbooks, so that textbook or that notes which will be helpful for the students by reading to solve the test and examination which are conducted in the school. So these are the purpose of reading. I hope that the purpose of reading are very simple and in a simple manner and in a simple format I have written. I hope that you will understood it. So these are the four purpose of reading. Now the next point we have to learn that what is mean by the loud reading and silent reading. Already we know that these are the two main types of reading, loud reading and silent reading. So already we know that the loud reading means it is also a process to read a particular passage or paragraph with audible to others. To read a passage or paragraph audibles to others, it is called a loud reading. So this is the simple definition of loud reading. When we read, so read at that time, to read aloud, which is audible to others. So this is the simple definition of loud reading. To read aloud, particularly word or sentence which is audible to others. To read aloud word or sentence which is audible to others. So this is the simple definition of loud reading. Okay. So what is the purpose of loud reading? Already we know that the purpose of loud reading is to develop. Purpose of loud reading is first to develop students' reading skill. To develop students' reading skill. Second one, by loud reading. Second one, by loud reading, we come to know that the students' pronunciations clarity. To know students' pronunciation clarity. So these are the purpose of loud reading. First, to develop the students' reading skill. Then the teacher comes to know the students' pronunciation clarity. Okay. So these are, I think that I have to rewrite it. To develop students' reading skill. This pink marker is not properly seen on this board, but now I think you will understood it. So these are the purpose of loud reading. Okay, so these are the purpose of loud reading. And now the next type, that is the silent reading. So let us see that what is the definition of silent reading. Now in a loud reading also you may add some points also, that by the loud reading you can verify the students' ability of reading having a proper accuracy. Means tone is there, intonation is there, pronunciation is there. So there are so many points you may add in the purpose of loud reading. Now the second one we have to learn, that is the silent reading. So what do you mean by silent reading? So let us see the definition of silent reading. It is also based on the loud reading. To read without, to read a word or sentence. What is the definition of silent reading? To read without, to read a word or sentence. To read a word or sentence without a sound audible to others. This is called a silent reading. To read a word or sentence without a sound audible to others. Means whenever you are reading, so at that time don't make a sound of reading that word or sentence. That is called a silent reading, which means if you are reading silently, so that time you don't have to read loudly which disturb the others. So in a silent reading you have to read a word or sentence without a sound which will be not audible to others. So this is the definition of silent reading, which is very simple and easy. Now we have to learn what are the aims of this silent reading. So let us see What are the aims of silent reading? And whenever I am writing on the board, so at that time you may notice it properly. First, now we are going to learn the aims of silent reading. AIMS, aims of silent reading. Aims of silent reading. So let us see what are the aims of silent reading. First, to read without making a sound. To read without making a sound. This is the first aim of silent reading. Reading, to read without making a sound. Second one, to read with. To read with proper pace and speed. Okay, when we read, when we do this silent reading, so at that time read with proper pace and speed. Okay. Third one, to read with understanding. To read with understanding. This is most important in the silent reading. Whenever you will read a specific passage, paragraph, whatever, so read with understanding. Means you must know what I have read it. You should got it. You should understood it. You should comprehend it. So to read with the understanding. And the last one, the aims of silent reading, to develop students' vocabulary. To develop students' vocabulary. This is also most important aim of silent reading. Okay. So these are the 4 aims of silent reading. To read without, again I am going to tell you the aim of silent reading. First one, to read without making a sound. Okay. So in this way, these are the 4 aims of silent reading. To read without making sound, to read with proper pace and speed, to read with understanding, and to develop students' vocabulary. So these are the aims of silent reading. Okay. Now the next important aspect regarding to the reading skill is this, that what are the methods and techniques of teaching reading. Okay, let us see. This is also most important point through the examination. What are the methods and techniques of teaching reading? So we know that in the teaching and learning process, nothing happens without a reason or cause. So if you want to teach reading, so let us see what are the methods and techniques. So let us see the next point, methods of teaching reading. So there are different methods and techniques used for teaching reading. So what are that methods and techniques? So let us see the first one. Look and say method. Look and say. This is the method which is used for teaching reading. Look and say. Now from this title we can easily got what does mean by this method. Look and say. Look and say, in this method what we have to do? The teacher has to show a picture and ask the students to read it. For example, if I am showing you a picture, or here I have a model of an animal which is a powerful and mighty elephant. Okay, so who is this or what is this? This is the animal, but which animal it is? It is an elephant. So by showing a picture or model of animals, you can teach your students read. So look and say. In this method, you have to show the picture model of a specific or particular animal, or a place, or a thing, or a person, and ask the students to read it. So elephant is there, rabbit is there. Okay, so these are the different models, pictures you may use for the teaching reading of your students. Second one is the phonic method. The phonic. This is the second one, the phonic method. Now this in this phonic method, we have to give the stress on the syllable. We have to give the stress on syllable. So already we know that the different words are made from the combination of different syllable or alphabet. For example, apple. Apple, this word, it is made of a different types of syllables. For example, A, P, P, L, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these 5 alphabets have combined, but it has a meaning. So this method is called the phonic method, and in this phonic method we have to give the stress on the syllable or alphabet, because already we know that the word, it is made up from the different alphabets, but that different alphabet we have to join it or combine it. From that the meaningful word should be come out. So this is the second method of teaching reading, the phonic method. In this method, keep it in mind that we have to give the stress on the syllable or alphabet. Now the third one is, that is the sentence method. The sentence method. Now in this sentence method, you have to give a stress on the sentence here. For example, in this sentence method, I am a man, you are a boy, she is a girl, that is a rabbit, this is a pen, this is a board. So these are the different types of sentences. In that sentences, we have to focus on the sentences, not on the word. So in the sentence method, the unit of teaching is the sentence, not a word. Keep it in mind. And the last one, method of teaching reading, that is the story method. The story method. So with the help of the story also, we can develop our students' reading skill. In a story method, there are some passages, or might be there is a description of a specific incident or event which were happened in the past, and that one we have to tell in the class in the form of a story. So in that story method also, there are the different sentences, and the sentences are also made up from the different words. That different words should become into different word. It should have been constructed in a proper or specific order. From that the meaningful sentence will come out. So in this way, in that story method also, we have to give the stress on the sentences. So these are the methods of teaching reading. And now I think that it is sufficient for you, that you will got it. I hope you will understood it properly. Now in the third and the last segment, I will come and teach you that how to solve the questions answer, specifically descriptive questions answer. It might be asked for 2 marks or 3 marks, but how to write that questions answer in a simple and easy manners, which simple techniques we have to use for writing that questions answer in a 4 or 5 lines or 6 or 8 lines or in a 10 to 12 lines, whatever might be. So I will in the next segment teach you how to make a sentence by using a simple construction of a sentence. Thank you.